Super. Hey, thanks everyone for coming today. This is a special day for the state of Alaska, special day for the people of Alaska, and certainly for our Department of Public Safety and our troopers. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and I want to thank the commissioner and his staff for being part of this as well. So when I was campaigning, you can go back to some 2017 statements that I made. Public safety was going to be number one for this administration. We know that Alaska could do better with regard to crime. We know Alaska could do better with protecting our people. I also always knew that the troopers, if given the resources, the support, and the opportunity, would rise to the occasion. And if you look at our FBI statistics and our statistics on crime, you'll see that crime has dropped dramatically as a result of the fine work that these folks have done on a daily basis. Today, though, it's a little more interesting, and I think very positive. We're going to honor two people today for the work that they did in saving people. This is not done in there was no crime being committed, but basically we got two fine troopers, and I always say their families too, and their spouses are here, sitting over here to my left. They run to the danger. We don't. And we were talking about this earlier today, about what they did, and we're going to get in detail here in just a moment. But, you know, a lot of us, when we're in our daily lives, we're not law enforcement, we're not trained. We rely on these guys. Some refer to as the thin blue line. But long story short, a lot of times in Alaska, we'll see situations happening, whether it's an auto accident, somebody's in distress, they need help. And a lot of times, we're looking for these guys. A lot of times we wonder ourselves if we should jump into the fray. We're not trained to do it. A lot of times we're worried about our own safety. These guys never do that. They've been trained well. They rehearse well. They've gone through the process. And when called, and this is the most important thing, when called, they're there. I can't imagine a trooper at any time, anywhere, getting a call saying, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Can you call me in the morning? It doesn't happen. Or, I really don't like cold water, or I don't like this situation. Never happens. When they're called, they're there. And what we're going to talk about today is an example of that, which I'm very proud of these folks. And it's these moments where I'm very proud to be governor of the state of Alaska. Because this is it's not just a feel-good situation, but it's a good thing that we have these guys here. And so we're here today to honor two of those troopers for their remarkable actions. Trooper Garrett Stevens and Trooper Nathan Hollenbeck acted immediately and put themselves in dangerous situations in order to save people that needed help. They acted immediately and selflessly. Because of that, the two men they rescued are alive today. I don't know how you put a price on a human life, especially an innocent human life. And these guys risked their lives to save these two people. This is a great example of the critical work our troopers and law enforcement officers around the state do every day, and why it's important for us to make investments in public safety, which we have. We've invested a considerable amount of money in public safety over the last several years. And I was glad to do it. We have seen the results. We look at our statistics, and we look at the fine troopers that we have. So I'm immensely proud to recognize their outstanding bravery and response in these separate incidences that saved the lives of two men. Two Alaskans are here today because of their efforts. And so I'm going to ask Colonel Hughes to talk a little bit about each of these responses, each of these issues, so we can gain a better understanding as to what these two fine men did, not just for the state of Alaska, but for these two individuals and the people of Alaska. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Commissioner, come on up. Commissioner Cockrell.
Hello and good afternoon. I'm James Cockrell. I'm the Commissioner of the Alaska Department of Public Safety. I will say I'm very humbled to be here today. We are here today to recognize the heroic actions that Trooper Nathan Hollenbeck and Trooper Stevens took this year. Both troopers responded to a call involving a person drowning in extremely cold weather water, and they acted immediately to save both victims' lives. During both rescues, the troopers put their own lives at risk by jumping into the freezing waters and risking death themselves. Without their quick actions, these people likely would not have survived, nor would they. Your Alaska State Troopers put their lives on the line every day, and actions of these type troopers are an outstanding example of how dedicated our officers are protecting and serving all Alaskans. It's an understatement to say, but the Alaska State Troopers make extraordinary law enforcement actions every day look routine. I am so proud to recognize these efforts here today, these troopers. And I'd also like to thank the governor for his steadfast support of the Department of Public Safety in his almost 8 years as the governor. And I certainly appreciate your willingness to be here today and all the efforts you've made to stop crime in Alaska and really make a difference. I think the troopers and this governor has made a huge difference in reducing crime in Alaska, which we know can be one of the highest in the state. We're no longer that way because of his work. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Colonel Hughes. I'm the Director of the Alaska State Troopers. I'll now read the citation. This is in recognition of Trooper Nathan Hollenbeck. On May 29th at 02:24, Alaska State Troopers received a 911 call from a woman reporting a man calling for help in the water of the Tanana River near the area of the Tanana Ice Classic. Trooper Nathan Hollenbeck was called out while asleep on standby to respond. He rushed to the scene and arrived only a few minutes later. Trooper Hollenbeck located the man in the frigid water, roughly 15 feet away from the wall. With no way to immediately access the water and help the man, Trooper Hollenbeck grabbed a tow strap from his patrol car, anchored the strap to the vehicle, and tossed it to the man in the water. The man was severely hypothermic, and he could not hold on to the tow strap at that time. Trooper Hollenbeck stripped his duty gear off, fashioned a makeshift harness to himself, and rappelled down the seawall. He called EMS to respond to bring a rescue boat to help hoist the individual out. Once he rappelled down the wall and onto the steel girder near the water level, he grabbed and held on to the man, who was no longer able to keep his head above water. Once EMS arrived, they tried unsuccessfully to get the harness and a life vest onto the man before calling out a boat. Trooper Hollenbeck then lowered himself into the frigid water in order to keep the man's head up. Trooper Hollenbeck remained in the water, holding the man's head above water for roughly 30 minutes until medics could locate him from the Nana. Trooper Hollenbeck and the men were both transported to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital, both with hypothermia. Trooper Hollenbeck's core temperature had dropped to 95 degrees. The man he rescued was treated for several days in the ICU unit and then released. Trooper Hollenbeck's selfless sacrifice, quick thinking, and courageous action during this successful rescue reflect greatly upon himself, his detachment, the Alaska State Troopers, and the Department of Public Safety. He demonstrated the highest level of professionalism, dedication, and service while carrying out a true mission of the Alaska State Troopers in the preservation of life. In formal recognition of his extraordinary courage, decisive life-saving actions, Trooper Hollenbeck is hereby awarded the Alaska State Troopers Life-Saving and Bravery Award.
Oh, we're gonna watch the video.
Oh.
Hey, Siska, I got a friend here who's gonna help, okay? Can you hang on to the rope? Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be long enough. I'm going to have to get closer.
With me, okay?
Can you reach it?
I didn't put it in yet.
Okay. Can you reach this? I'm going to try not to hit you.
Yeah, I bet you're hungry, huh? Good job. Look on.
So, Nathan, I want to thank you for everything you did, everything you're doing. I want to thank you for thinking about others first. And that, to me, is the spirit of our Alaska troopers, to be perfectly honest with you. And so, on behalf of the state of Alaska, your fellow troopers, the Department of Public Safety, and all Alaskans, I want to thank you again, and I want to award you this, I think, outstanding commendation for bravery and life-saving on May 29th, 2025. And because of your actions, there's a fellow Alaskan that's still alive. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you.
The next citation is for Trooper Garrett Stevens. On the afternoon of June 10, a dispatch was broadcast about an urgent 911 call reporting a drowning in progress at Cloudy Lake. Arriving units quickly realized how serious the situation was. The water was 42 degrees. The 17-year-old victim was 75 feet from shore with no time for specialized rescue assets to arrive. Trooper Garrett Stevens arrived at the North Shore and was the first trooper to reach the scene. Without hesitation, Trooper Stevens removed his duty gear and sprinted to the water's edge and dove into the lake. He was fully aware of the water below 50 degrees is immediately life-threatening and that the drowning victims could not endure until rescuers engaged through the intrinsic panic, but nevertheless pressed forward. While swimming, Trooper Stevens maintained verbal contact and encouraged the victim to fight for survival. Rural EMS personnel threw 2 life vests toward Trooper Stevens. He donned one and carried the second to the victim, who was now vomiting water and slipping in and out of consciousness. The victim was too weak to secure his own flotation device, so Trooper Stevens physically wrestled the life vests onto him, then towed him back 75 feet to the shore, propelling himself with one arm while supporting the victim with the other. Once they reached the shore, the victim was immediately transferred to awaiting EMS for treatment of severe hypothermia and water inhalation. Doctors later confirmed that without Trooper Stevens' intervention, the teen would have died. Trooper Stevens knowingly entered an exceptionally hazardous environment, a dramatic drowning scene in near freezing water, without protective equipment, without backup swimmers or mechanical aids. His actions exemplify valor, self-sacrifice, and the highest traditions of the Alaska State Troopers. By placing the life of another above his own, Trooper Stevens directly saved a young Alaskan's life and brought great credit upon himself, the detachment, and the Alaska State Troopers. Again, in formal recognition of his exemplary courage and decisive life-saving action, Trooper Stevens is hereby awarded Alaska State Troopers Life-Saving and Bravery Award.
Water, he's able to stay afloat at the moment. But I can strip down with it and jump in the water.
And before I award this to Trooper Stevens, what you don't see, but you probably figured out, is both of these gentlemen, again, they went in the water to save these people. They put their lives at risk. They went in the water with them to get them out. And this is just a perfect example, again, of what the troopers do. I'm sure they're somewhat humbled and embarrassed by this because they don't necessarily want to be singled out because this is what they do. This is who they are. But again, in representing our fine trooper corps, I award this commendation for, once again, bravery and life-saving on June 10th, 2025, to Trooper Stevens. And I want to thank you for risking your life on behalf of saving another Alaskan. So I want to thank you very much. Absolutely. Okay. So, again, this is one of those situations where it's an honor to do this. This is a positive for the people of Alaska, for the troopers. This is an example of what they do. They just don't protect us from crime. They protect us across the board. You know, and in an era of calls in some places to defund the police, to not support our law enforcement officers, I'm proud to say that here in Alaska, we don't suffer from that like they do in other places in the country. I made a commitment on day one, actually before day one, as I mentioned earlier, that we were going to support our troopers. Because without public safety, without people we can rely on, without people that are trained well, without people that have the resources that they need to have to do the job, you don't have really a society that functions well. And so I think we all should be glad, and we all know that these guys are just a phone call away. And this is a big state with a lot going on, from earthquakes to fires to you name it. But again, I'm very proud and humbled to know that if something's happening, we can call you and you'll be there. And so with that, I want to thank you. I think we're going to take some pictures, correct? I want to thank you. I want to thank all the troopers and those that are on duty right now, helping Alaskans. My message to them is we are so proud of you. So we want to thank you very much for everything you're doing. Pictures up there. We're going to take a couple pictures, and I don't know whoever you want up here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Any others?
Let's get one of all
Do we want any family members up here with them? Come on. Thank you. Thanks, guys. And you want the, yeah, come on up. You got to arrange them. Do I stand in front? Nice. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I see you. All right, guys. Thank you.